tensions soar further. India has given it back to the bully. Now, Rajnath Singh has issued a loaded statement saying some don't seem to be liking India's growth. So the top Modi Mantri drawing the line and saying that some don't seem to be liking India's growth and are unable to accept it. Listen in.
कुछ लोग हैं जो भारत के का विकास जितनी तेजी के साथ हो रहा है उन्हें रास नहीं आ रहा है। सबके बास तो हम हैं। भारत कैसे इतनी तेजी के साथ बढ़ रहा है और बहुतों के द्वारा यह कोशिश की जा रही है कुछ ऐसा किया जाए ताकि भारत में भारतवासियों के हाथों से जो चीजें तैयार होती हैं वह दुनिया के देशों में जाएं तो उन देशों में बनने वाली चीजों से वह महंगी हो जाएं ताकि भारत की धरती पर भारतवासियों के हाथों से बनी हुई चीजें जब महंगी हो जाएगी तो दुनिया के दोस्त को लोग उसे नहीं खरीदेंगे। यह कोशिश की जा रही है। लेकिन बहनों भाइयों, भारत जितनी तेजी के साथ आगे बढ़ रहा है, मैं पूरे विश्वास के साथ कहता हूं कि भारत को अब दुनिया की कोई ताकत विश्व की एक बड़ी शक्ति बनने से रोक नहीं सकती है।
No one can stop India's growth. That's the message from the Raksha Mantri. Mr. KP Fabian joins us on the broadcast. Thank you for joining us, Mr. Fabian. How do you look at this statement by the Raksha Mantri? Is it a clear message that no matter how much any country tries, India will not be dictated terms to, that India is going to be clear and will continue on its growth path?
I agree with the Raksha Mantri that no one can stop India from growing, from progressing into becoming a great power economically, politically, militarily, and otherwise. But I do not know whether I can agree with the proposition that United States is against India's growth, because we should recognize President Trump's psychology, his reasoning methodology. Take the case of Brazil. His grouse against Brazil is that Bolsonaro, the previous president, who wanted to annul the results of the last election and who proceeded even with a conspiracy to get the successful candidate murdered. Well, he's being judicially tried, and Trump is putting tariff on Brazil because of that. In other words, Trump has his personal reasons. So I do not think that it's a United States policy. It's a Trump policy. So we have to understand that. And the last point is that knowing Trump or understanding Trump requires a lot of work, and we in India are rather poor in what I call Trumpology. You know, that is...
Yes, and India has given out a very clear message that such bullying is not going to work. Mr. Fabian, thank you for joining us. Raksha Mantri going on to say that some people don't seem to be happy with India's success or India's growth path. Pathikrit Payne is also on the broadcast with us. Mr. Pathikrit, what do you make of the Raksha Mantri statement? He has clearly called out the bully, as he said, that India and the targeting of India is only because some are not happy, are feeling uneasy with India's growth.
Well, what the Honorable Raksha Mantri mentioned is based by facts, because you see the sudden change of stance of the Trump administration appears to be suddenly after the Operation Sindoor, and the kind of proficiency that has been shown by the Indian armed forces in terms of dealing with Pakistan and especially the terror organizations. Ideally, America, which champions the cause of war on terror, should have been happy with us. But it appears they are championing the cause of the Pakistanis. They are legitimizing the field marshal and the army's actions over there, the Pakistani army's action, which is known to back the non-state actors, the state-sponsored non-state terror groups. So there is a curious case of what actually America wants to do. Now, when it comes to the economic part, let me put it very bluntly. Out of India's export of $800 billion, what might get impacted out of tariffs is probably around $40 billion, which means 5% of our total exports which might get impacted, which means 95% of India's exports are not impacted. Secondly, we are not an export-oriented economy. Our entire export is less than 20% of the GDP. The rest of the 80% is from the internal economy. So India's economy remains resilient. India's economy will continue to progress in spite of these challenges that we are facing. But I must also mention that the Raksha Mantri did not mention any country's name.
Yes.
So it was a generic statement he has mentioned. But overall, it appears that some of the greater powers of the world are not very happy with the growth of India, which they think that will be competing against them. But we are not here to compete if India with 1.5 crore, 150 crore population have to take care of the aspirations of its own people, then it has no option but to keep on growing and expanding its GDP.
Okay. In fact, in some of the numbers that you mentioned as well, that's going to be a reality check for Rahul Gandhi and others who claim that India's economy is dead. Thank you for joining us with your inputs on that. With that, it's time for us to slip into a very quick break here. We'll be right back with lots more. Do stay with us.